It was suggested a while ago that it would be useful to try and address some common IT problems and ideas at Weslow. I've tried to create a simple video to highlight some of them. I think it's important to say that some staff will have seen some of this before, but it's absolutely not intended to be patronising in any way. The intention is just to go over a few basic ideas in a short hints and tips video. I pride myself in translating into layman's terms, however. There will be some assumed knowledge in computer terms like right-clicking and copy and paste, but please just ask if anything comes across presumptuous. One of the best tips I can give to speed up your working day is to use keyboard shortcuts. One of the most common ones I use myself is Window and E. In this case, the E stands for Explorer. It's not Internet Explorer, but File Explorer. It's the same idea. With this, you are able to quickly explore your files, much in the same way as you can explore the internet using Internet Explorer. Window and E quickly brings up an overview of the top level access you have to files, local drives and network drives. Another popular one is Control-C and Control-V. As many of you know, this is a quick way to copy and paste. The Control-C is the copy part and the Control-V is the paste. Control-P might have seemed obvious, but that has been pinched by another option to print, which is another handy tip. The Control-C, Control-V option can be used for text, media and files. Without meaning to get too technical, this is possible because of something called the clipboard, which is part of Windows. The clipboard is a buffer that stores information temporarily. Unfortunately, this buffer is cleared when a user logs out. Another couple of less used shortcuts are Window and Tab and Alt and Tab. The Window and Tab option on Windows 7 is quite fancy looking compared to Windows 10 in my opinion. It creates a scrolling effect between all the windows you have open. We will all be in Windows 10 soon though. The concept for both of the shortcut options are the same. It is a way to quickly see all of your open windows. It's a way to quickly navigate between them. It can make a significant difference to someone who tends to have a lot of windows open. Another option I often use myself is Window and D. The D stands for desktop because it is a way to instantly take you to your desktop. Pressing this combination of buttons again takes you back to your previous state of open windows. There is also a sneaky hidden button to the right hand side of the clock. It looks like nothing, but this black box acts the same way as Window and D. Whatever one works for you is personal preference. Message rules and alerts in Outlook can be incredibly powerful. They can be straightforward from simply setting up an automatic option for an incoming email. The most common I would say would be to set up a rule that moved an email with a set condition to a created folder. This can be a way to automatically organize certain types of emails. For instance, if you get a newsletter from a particular email address frequently, you can have a rule that automatically puts that into a folder you created. That way, all of these emails are organized in a segregated folder. There are many options with message rules and alerts that could be a video by itself, but I think it's important to point out that the rules and alerts can be set on outgoing emails as well as incoming. A simple example would be to always CC in an email with a particular set of circumstances. So every time you emailed email address A, email address B would get a copy. You can also use this to organize your sent items into separate folders. Like I say, there are many options. One of my favourite bits of software that comes standard with Windows is the snipping tool. You can literally copy anything that you can see on your screen. This can be incredibly useful when you need to take a snip of something on your screen to put it into another application. Control and print screen will copy the full screen or screens. Alt and print screen will copy the full window you have open and highlighted, but the snipping tool is a way to be very specific about what you want to copy. It's a useful gadget that I have personally pinned to my start menu. You can do this as well by right-clicking on the start menu link. Again, it's personal preference. It is stored under accessories in Windows 7, but a quick way to find the shortcut is to type the word snip into the search bar to the right of the start menu. On Windows 10 the snipping tool is there at the moment, but Microsoft are pushing the Snip and Sketch app instead. The concept is the same with both. If you find that you're composing the same type of emails all of the time, you can cheat by creating different signature files with design templates. This could save you a lot of time. Once you have your signature file set up, you can select your desired template and edit as need be. You would need the standard Weslow signature at the bottom of all of them, but I think it could be a real time saver for someone sending repetitive emails. There's 4 steps to access the signatures section as detailed in previous emails from corporate services when our corporate signature changes. Files, Options, Mail, Signatures. From here you have the ability to create new signature files. It is possible to recall an email that has been sent to Weslow staff. To do this, you double-click on the sent item, select Actions, then recall this message. Unfortunately, this only works under specific circumstances. The email needs to be unread by the recipient, and it needs to be internal. It is not possible to recall a message that has been read or recalled after it is sent to someone without a Weslow HM email address. Think of it like trying to get a posted letter back from inside of someone's house. If you post the letter to your own house, you have a chance of retrieving it. If not, it is sent. Did you know that you can access your work emails from any internet-connected device? By typing this link, https://mymail.weslowhm.co.uk/OWA, you will then be prompted for your username and confidential password. It is obviously incredibly important to keep sensitive information safeguarded with regard to data protection. We all have that responsibility. So if you're using this option, you must keep your password private and not save it on any device that could be used or seen by anyone else. You should log out when you're not using it. The same concept when using the VPN should be adhered to. Accidental exposure can happen, so locking your screen when you're not in front of it is essential at home and at work. I think it's also important to point out, like with most businesses at the moment, your password is your main security measure. This particular link will not work inside of the Weslow network. If you replace My Mail with Mail Server 01 though, it will. You can use My Portal to dial a phone number for you. By clicking on the My Portal tab in Outlook, you can click into the open box on the left and type the phone number you wish to dial. It also has a drop-down option with all of your most recent incoming and outgoing numbers. This can be quick and useful for staff who tend to make a lot of calls, especially repetitive ones. When saving an Office file, it is possible to password protect it. With modern versions of Office, this is a very strong way to protect a file and the data held within it. When saving the file, you have the option using Save As and General Options to create a password. You can set it so that the password is only applicable for changes. So in other words, you can allow people to see the document but not make any changes to it. Just keep in mind that it can prove to be problematic if other members of staff need access and they don't know the password. A common problem that is reported to us is when a mailbox fills up. A tip that I always suggest is to right-click on the Search Folders option, select New Search Folder, then pick Large Email. This is a great way to identify large emails that are munching up all of your allocated space. You might find that the large emails are no longer needed, and with little effort you can make a big difference. I'm sure we are all aware that when we delete an email, it goes into our deleted items folder. What you may not know is that there is another option to recover emails. Under the Folder tab and the Recover Deleted Items button, you will see other deleted items. That can be quick and useful in an emergency, and you might find that you do not need to use GFI. There are a few other ideas that I've excluded from this video just now, but they could prove to be useful in the future. We have a huge project planned to migrate all users to Office 365, which I'm sure will need a hints and tips video by itself. I realise a lot of the ideas in this video are heavily used by some, but I still hope it proves to be useful. Thank you for listening.